I got my release dates mixed up, so I am a week late on this newly available title. Do you like your love stories mixed with excessive amounts of gore and blood? Or perhaps you prefer your horrors to feature cannibalistic romantic musical numbers and a touch of inbreeding? Either way, if you like slashers, comedies, romances, or musicals, the Estonian film Chainsaws Were Singing will have something for you. Adventures await when new lovers are separated by a chainsaw killer. So just as the title implies, this is a horror musical love story that features a ton of disgustingly visceral gore. Tom and Maria meet and instantly fall in love, only to have Maria kidnapped by a chainsaw-wielding madman. Tom then embarks on a journey to save his love, meeting a variety of strange characters along the way. Now, this has a filming style that resembles a 70s exploitation slasher, with a grainy appearance, lots of Dutch angles, and almost constant handheld camera work that creates both an immersively engaging experience and one of low-budget aesthetics. Some of the editing reminds of Baz Luhrmann, especially at the start of the movie, and then it transitions into flying circus skit-type murderous mashups. There's so much silliness that's inserted into the dark matter, using just tons of sight gags and cleverly cheesy dialogue to play on every genre stereotype available. Now, a ton of plot conveniences are also included, but instead of detracting from the storytelling, as they often do in most movies, here they add the right amount of randomness to continually freshen the plot. Now, the singing is actually quite good, especially from Laura Nils, who plays Maria. Now, she's got this melodic and pure voice, creates musical numbers that are way more engaging and infectious than the movie would suggest. And while I don't think the songs are earworms that are just going to have you singing them long after the film is over, they are beautiful to listen to, and they complement the storytelling as a whole. And Maria's beau, Tom, who's played by Carl Ilves, he also has a surprising ability to harmonize. And while at first his voice was more of this spoken song type of delivery, kind of like Cake, he then showcases what he can do, and it works. I was vibing with the music and actually wish we'd been treated to more. There are some long stints where the movie doesn't feel like a musical just because there is a noticeable lack of singing. The story's compiled of chapters that each focus on some development of our characters, and these still propel the story forward, just using the opportunity to highlight each of the main players with some singing, comedy, and stupidity. And the movie compares itself to a Monty Python film, and just through some of the characters, this is very evident. A couple people we meet feel as though they wandered off the set of Holy Grail. That's not a negative in any way. They maximize the sense of stupidity in unexpected ways. And then speaking of stupid, there is an accidental sidekick in this named Jan, and he is the perfect blend of naivete, innocence, and ridiculousness. He's ADHD on crack with a healthy dose of delusional imagination. While the entire thing is a comedy, Jan is a major contributor to the comedic relief, silently and occasionally verbally crafting absurdity in the background frames. There's also a duo of police officers who are annoyingly oblivious to just everything around them that matters, but that's also what contributes to the effective comedy. Their scenes are played for maximum slapstick humor, mixing the antics of Keystone Cops with childlike mentalities. And the situations, they're cringy on purpose, maintaining a consistent tone throughout the entire thing. As far as the violence and gore are concerned, this is getting close to being on par with a Terrifier film. Now, those are still more bloody, but every opportunity here is taken to the extreme, crafting gag-inducing nastiness. From removing eyes and gonads to then sawing off appendages, these are shown to us with excellent practical effects, coating the production in just bloody carnage that surprisingly never loses its comedic edge. And while the blood may be a little bit more orangish red than in reality, there are buckets and buckets sprayed about wherever they can, coating victims and aggressors alike in all the gore. And I'm glad that the movie fully embraced what the title promised. Not only do we get a chainsaw used on and in many different body parts, there are also a bunch of various improvised weapons designed to induce squirming and wincing. But despite all the fun I had with this, it's way too long for what it is. This is just short of 2 hours, and it overstays its welcome in an effort to squeeze in as many goofy situations and interactions that it can. Funny doesn't outweigh overdone or unnecessary scenes that don't effectively add to the overall plot, just becoming a dragging weight that then could have been better utilized as a deleted scene or maybe an outtake. There's a sequence specifically that comes to mind when our hero is accosted and then trapped by some naturist cult. It's juvenile and hilarious, but also approximately 10 to 15 minutes of randomness that distract from the chainsaw-wielding killer. So overall, Chainsaws Were Singing is a mad mixture of maniacs, music, and murder. The random zaniness and blood-soaked brutality elevate this from B-grade schlock to instant cult classic. The songs are harmonious and energetic, evoking both romance and longing, complementing the hilarity of the kills, and then enhancing the surprising emotional depth of the story. The filmmaking takes advantage of the lower budget by capturing a nostalgic 70s slasher aesthetic with a handheld, grainy style that immerses us in both the environment and the pursuits. The movie does suffer from a bloated runtime, choosing excess and unnecessary story arcs rather than focusing on the premise of separated lovers being tormented by a crazed chainsaw killer. Don't take this film seriously, but expect to have an awesomely chaotic, violent romp through the countryside while being bathed in blood and a smile that stretches from ear to ear. There's no sex or nudity, there is a lot of profanity, and then, of course, an immense amount of gruesome violence. I give Chainsaws Were Singing 4 out of 5 couches. I mean, this isn't going to be for everybody, but I had a blast with it. Are there any other genre mashups that you have enjoyed? Like, zombie rom-coms, they've sometimes been fun. Let me know, though, if you've got any titles or maybe combos that you can recommend in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.